Hey everyone, Max Power 10 here, bringing you some more domination tips. This time I have the map Wasteland, and this map, A, B, and C, forms a triangle, so it doesn't really matter what 2 points you hold, just as long as you hold two. Typically in the beginning of this game, I would send 4 people for B, and then 2 people for either A or C. Usually there's a good sized battle in the beginning for B, and initially I'm going for B, but I didn't hear anybody call C out, so I changed directions and go for C, and unfortunately we're kind of one man short on B. So we end up getting C, and the other team ends up getting B on us. And this surprises me here. I'm not used to the enemy team actually rushing C, so but I thought this game would be good to upload just because I'm going to show you how to come back from behind, because we actually only get 1 point in the beginning and the other team ended up getting 2. Now for this map, I prefer to hold B as the main point, and really it's just because of the way the terrain is around B. B is a hard flag to cap. You know, you got the guns mounted up there. Just the way the terrain is, it's very open. It's easy to kill people trying to get to it. So it's a hard one to cap. It's a little bit easier one to defend. Probably out of the 3 points, it's the easiest one to defend. So I like to get and hold B, and then choose either A and C to hold. And, I'm used to holding A, so it's the other flag that we decide that we want to hold. Here's a knife fail. I never understand why when you respawn, all of a sudden your knife goes. And I think up here I try to fail to save my buddy Dano's life, but sorry Dan. But yeah, I would say get B and then choose either A or C, whatever you prefer, whatever the other team's rushing. So for Wasteland, tactical insertions is really a key point of the game, because the spawns are so far away. If you're guarding A and you die, you spawn at B, you probably won't make it back to A in time to guard that flag before the enemy takes it. So tactical insertions definitely play an important part, and so doesn't the air support. So we decide we're going to make a push for A, and right here the enemy team isn't guarding it, but they do come back and take us on it, and there's actually a battle for it. And I'm gonna be able to show you how to how to clear an area and work with your teammates and be able to overcome those points. So we have the B spawn right now. Anytime you want to respawn, make sure you look around and clear the area. But they take A from us, and at this point, we're going to make we make a decision that we're getting A back, and that's the flag we're going to hold. So I'm not going to commentate, just kind of watch and see how we're using the tactical insertions and how we move around each other, and get back into the battle and keep pushing forward until we get A.
UAV online.
I got painkillers over there.
Friendly Predator missile inbound.
Oh, you got me. That's bad.
Friendly Cobra inbound. Securing A.
So, that battle for A right there, if you notice, the tactical insertions played a key point. And the other thing is that, between myself, Codrod, and Archon, we spread ourselves out enough where we weren't on top of each other and able to kind of circle around and eventually get rid of the entire enemy team before we actually attack the point. You just don't want to rush A, jump on it, and get killed. So there's a battle for it. The tactical insertions, when we die, it allows us to get right back into the battle. So they're spawning on a different area. They got to try to run and make it back, and they're unable to do that, and that allows us to get control that point. So now we have our 2 points. We're going to lock down, and now what we want to focus on is try to get some kill streaks and try to get some good air support in. So what I'm actually doing is I'm looking for the enemy spawn. Once I find it, I communicate to the enemy, to my team, where the enemy spawn is. And right now I'm using that bait and hook tactic where I'm going to push forward till I know where the enemy spawn is, allow them to expose themselves, and right now I'm kind of feeding kills to my team. I'm feeding kills to Dano. He calls in his Predator missile. I know that the enemy is right around this helipad, so he gets that Harrier strike. I can let him know where to call it in. He calls it in right by that helicopter, and that will eventually allow him to get his chopper gunner. And by pushing forward, I'm preventing that team to getting directly to him, and I'm also making those enemy players expose themselves so he can take a couple out with his gun. This poor bastard, he's not, like I said, the B's very easy to defend, which is why I like to hold it. The guy's not going to be able to get it. It's very open, so it's easy to see people coming. So now the chopper gunner's up in the air, and again, I'm just trying to find out exactly where the enemy's spawning, and so I can communicate that to my teammates. Tactical insertions and air support, very key in this game. And at this point, we don't have a big lead. Codrod gets an AC-130, so that is anytime you have an AC-130 in the air, it's a good time to consider getting that third flag and dominating them. So that's what I'll do. He calls that in, so there's an opportunity to pad our points a little bit more by getting that flag and a triple kill there. And this opposite team is actually doing a pretty good job of going after the air support. Unfortunately, I can't get to this guy before he fires that. And takes out that Harrier, or takes out that AC-130, but we get enough of a lead to win the game. And when you first start playing, I mean, don't focus too much on your KD. Really just try to work with your teammates and work on map control, understanding the enemy spawns, and communicating with your team. And use something like the bait and hook tactics and feed, get some of the good gunners with feed some of those kills to your better gunners so you can get those kill streaks up and hopefully win the game. Hopefully these tips help. Until next time, Max Power out. Thanks.